Very few SRPGs really have the staying power that Final Fantasy Tactics brought to the genre years ago. However, that hasn't stopped developers from trying to create similar experiences for modern audiences. A series that has grown on me is developer Ridian's Mercenaries title. Each game evolves in a few different ways to give fans a memorable and sometimes nostalgic experience. The newest entry, Mercenary Blaze Dawn of the Twin Dragons, does that and more, and only seems to stumble on capitalizing on the narrative that otherwise has a decent foundation. Mercenaries Blaze Dawn of the Twin Dragons introduces us to Lester and his Twin Dragons Guild. As the leader, he takes on jobs for money to make ends meet, but the world is in a not so good place. For starters, religious beliefs has turned the people of the land on any immigrants. The church demands that if you want to stay, you'll have to convert to their religion or you'll be sent to a camp. The Twin Dragons are often the group called to rally up the immigrants and bring them to these camps. It's a touchy subject for some of the members who are legal immigrants, but they don't seem to have a huge problem with it in the end. The story likes to try to create these moments of "you don't understand" between the members, but it falls flat given that they've been in the group for so long, and it just makes it seem off that it's an issue now. The story deals with racism in many moments, but never really goes all in, leaving much of the big reveals to obvious bad guys' ulterior motives. However, there are decent moments of interaction between the characters as we see how they approach each job. There's a moment in the game where you're given a choice to choose a path, which was definitely a difficult one considering the weight of the decision. It's best to save after each mission because once you make this choice, you're stuck with it. Story aside, Mercenary Blaze has some excellent SRPG battle scenarios that revolve around story and side missions. The story missions offer some pretty epic events where you'll rush in and then be ambushed by other enemies or something happens that demands a response. However, the more complex scenarios happen in later chapters, with the first few chapters being more straightforward as they act as a tutorial. Side missions are generally reused mission maps full of enemies to defeat. They're a little easier with the enemies being lower level, but it's a great way to farm experience and gold for more difficult story missions. The only problem is that you can totally cheese your way through the game since you can play the same side mission repeatedly. Further, there's an auto battle feature that should not be used during a story mission due to the difficulty, but could easily get you through each of the side missions. No, you can't set it and forget it either. Each turn you have to turn it on, and there are also ways to customize this. The game dictates character classes, and new troops will be added to your cause throughout the campaign. After a specific level, each class can evolve to become a new class, which changes their stats and grants them access to new techniques. SP is earned through battles and can be used to learn new techniques and also level them up. It's all pretty straightforward, and it's also possible to get through much of the game without really paying attention to this. Characters also have a special attack that consumes BP and is unique for each of them. Pretty much any action you take other than moving and waiting will gain you experience in battle. The difficulty comes in with limited items stocking an MP, which creates a nice challenge during the longer campaign stages, even if you're over leveled. Graphically, I find Mercenary Blaze to be gorgeous. There are several memorable map designs and the character's appearance change depending on their equipment. What's notable is the high amount of accessibility features that aim to make your time with the game easier. Things such as autosave that can be customized by turns, auto-equip with several options, and easy to understand stats are just a few ways the team shows they understand the genre and what fans want. Sadly, I don't feel like the elements brought up in the story were fully executed. The angle of racism sets a nice foundation, but you can see the ending from a mile away, and I wish the team took the dual storylines in a more significant direction as it's all a bit dry and basic. Still, the characters are fun, but this game's epic nature is something we've all seen before. I should note that the soundtrack could use a few more songs because I felt like I heard the same ones over and over. Mercenary Blaze Dawn of the Twin Dragons is a great entry in this SRPG series that takes retro systems and adds modern elements to make it stand proudly next to the greats. Its story doesn't stick, but it also attempts to tackle some significantly difficult topics. Thankfully, the battle systems and accessibility options are sound and make the game a joy to experience. Noisy Pixel is giving Mercenaries Blaze Dawn of the Twin Dragons an 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Please read the full review on noisypixel.net. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers who work hard to do news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe to keep up with all our future content.